Joining us now to talk more about this is Upstate Global Health Director. Yeah, he's got a new title. You know him, Dr. Stephen Thomas. Dr. Thomas, thanks for joining us.
Hi, Jeff.
So much to talk about. I know we just had you on Monday, but now things get real. Explain to us what this Pfizer vaccine really is. Is it the same thing that we've been seeing adults get?
It is. All the ingredients are the same. It's administered in the same way. It's administered on the same schedule, 0 and 3 weeks, and it's the same vaccine that's been in well over 200 million people globally.
So parents might be wondering though, what could kids potentially expect as possible side effects? Not everybody, of course, gets them. Some adults have. So what should parents be watching out for? If you do it one day, should you keep your kid home the following day, or you just monitor? What are you suggesting there?
Right. So, the safety profile in the 12 to 15-year-olds is very similar to what we've seen in the 16 and older age groups. And so the reactions, if you're going to have them, seem to be more significant after the second dose compared to the first. About 8 out of 10 people will have some element of arm pain in the arm that they got the injection. That's expected. And then about 5 to 6 out of 10 people will have some headache. They'll have some fatigue. Most of those symptoms, people said that they were mild to moderate, which meant they can continue with their normal activities. It might be just interfered with a little bit. After the first dose, about 1 out of 10 people will have some fever, and after the second dose, it's about 2 out of 10 people will have some fever. Instead, in terms of planning, because not everyone's going to have an adverse reaction after the vaccine, then I don't think you have to make plans to hold somebody home from school or work or that sort of thing. I think you just kind of make sure you monitor, you play it by ear, and if your child is not comfortable, then you can make a decision at that point. We do recommend that people do not take Tylenol or Motrin prophylactically, right? So don't anticipate that your child's going to have symptoms. But if your child does develop some discomfort and you want to take the edge off, then it would be okay to provide them some Tylenol, assuming there's no other reason that they shouldn't take Tylenol.
Great point. Thanks for bringing that part up. What would you say to parents who are still on the fence when it comes to getting their kids vaccinated?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing is, I'm a parent as well, and so I completely understand the concern, especially in the middle of a pandemic, and it's, a vaccine that people had the perception was developed very rapidly. I guess what I would say is, just make sure that before you make a choice and before you make a decision, be informed and, avoid social media to get your information. I would go to objective, disinterested sources of information. I would go to multiple sources of information just to cross-check it and make sure that it's consistent. That would be like, Onondaga Department of Health website, New York State Department of Health website, CDC website, World Health Organization website. And then the other thing I would mention is, again, this vaccine has been tested in tens of thousands of people, to include thousands of kids 12 to 15 and 16 and up to 18. And it's been safely administered to, like I was saying, about over 200 million people globally. So I think that's where I would start.
And just to remind people, I mean, these trials for the 12 to 15, they weren't just on some kids in some other parts of the country. I mean, there were roughly about 75 of them right here, basically in central New York, right? And we haven't heard of really any issues there.
Right. So, Upstate was part of the trial that enrolled 12 to 15-year-olds. We're all still blinded, so I don't know who got vaccinated and who did not. Yeah, it was between 50 and 100 people. The interest, there were many, many more people who wanted to be in the study than we could accommodate. And, the expectation is now, now that 12 to 15-year-olds can be vaccinated, the people who participated in the trial will have the choice to be unblinded and get vaccinated if they want. So yeah, I think it's a really good thing, especially because of the in-person learning and getting kids back in school and getting them back in extracurricular activities and trying to stop this cycle of infected student followed by mass quarantine of students and teachers, and causing them to miss really important activities.
But still not fully vaccinated until 2 weeks after that second one. So we got to keep that in mind, right?
Right. So, the vaccine in the 12 to 15-year-olds, it was 100% efficacy. So what that means is there were 0 cases in the vaccine group and there were 16 cases in the placebo group. But that vaccine group, those are kids that had 2 doses, 3 weeks apart. So yeah, you got to get fully vaccinated.
Last one for you, just quick. Why is it so important, not just for this age group, but for everybody, to have this age group now eligible and potentially getting the vaccine?
Yeah. Well, it's still up for debate, how much children contribute to the overall transmission of virus in the community. I think there's data out there, and it would be my guess that they don't contribute as much as, the 20 to 40-year-olds or adults, but they still get infected and they can still transmit to other people. So if this is another age group that we can have mass vaccination and mass immunity, it's going to help the larger population as we try to go for that, elusive herd immunity that we keep talking about. But again, one of the main things it's going to do is it's going to allow kids to go back to school, and it's going to allow them to go back to group activities much quicker and much sooner than if they don't get vaccinated.
Dr. Thomas, thanks so much. I know you've had a busy afternoon. Congratulations on your new role and title, but I think you're going to stay with us for interviews like this, even though you've been promoted, I guess, right?
As long as you'll have me, I'll be back.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. Really appreciate your time.
Thanks a lot. Have a good night.